Good morning and
More.
welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning. Good morning.
good morning, good morning. We got jokes already this morning. We got Tech Coach Ralph coming
Oh
in the
man.
building saying good morning. And before we started the show, we laughed. We saw this comment. He said in Skip Bayless's voice, "Trey, put your glasses back on." We were so so you probably
I
saw
know
us laughing
exactly
going
how
on
he
here.
sounds.
Exactly.
Yes. I put my glasses on, bro. I put my glasses on. Um, I keep a stack right here with me. I stay in the lab, so I keep a stack in the lab, but then I got a stack, in their place in the restroom and stuff. So I got you. I just picked some up. I I'm over here like Fred Sanford, man. He had a bunch of them in a in a drawer that he would shuffle through. Yeah, man.
Man, taking us back. We got OTTO in the building as well. It says peace and blessings, family. So glad to have you with us. We got Mitch in the building as well. It says
Good
OTTO,
morning.
yo. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. And listen, listen, y'all. We have y'all in the building. If you can, go ahead and share this with others who share on your channels or share with other people that you might think want to drop by. Because this is one of those situations where I was totally out of pocket, and I was like, "Oh, we got a show to do." So I literally early this morning uploaded all that need to be uploaded to make sure that we're all good to go. So I didn't get a chance to normally send it out to people that normally would, but feel free to do so. And we would love to have you rocking with us for sure. And as you are familiar with the Talk That Tech, if you're not, go ahead and subscribe at youtube.com/, Talk That Tech Show. That's youtube.com/, the Talk That Tech Show. And if you're on Twitch, you can see that's down there below as well as IG. So go ahead and connect with us, and we want to hear from you. So definitely do that. We love to hear from you and talk with you, man. Talk with you. Talk with you. Speaking about talking,
Yes, indeed.
man, this was an interesting weekend. But let me start off first by asking you, Trey, how was your weekend?
Man, it was my weekend was slow motion, man. I had the baby again this weekend. Just a little bit, to be honest. I was at home working, but it was only on Sunday. So Saturday, um, I was at the house, man. I had the craziest headache and stuff on Saturday, so I was kind of out of it, bro. Like just trying to get rid of that. Sometimes, not all the time, I forget to hydrate, and so I feel like that's what it was. Um, I didn't really have as much water this week and stuff, so I think it all just came to a head on Saturday, man. So I was out of commission on Saturday, really, and then Sunday, man, same old, same old. Went to church, um, had a good time there. Came on home and chill with the baby, man. Chill with the baby. That was my weekend in a nutshell. So, you know, I'm not gonna make that mistake again this week. So I'm already hydrating, and all that kind of stuff. So we good. We good to go.
Man, yeah.
I'm
So
feeling refreshed.
yeah, saw you out of commission, man. I know that how that feel. It just feels like, man, listen, I got stuff to do. I got people to see, and
I
I gotta.
did. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trapped.
man. Yeah.
I'm locked
I
up.
couldn't do nothing. Won't
I'm
let me
locked
out.
up.
I was out of there. I
Yeah,
was
man.
out of there, man.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully there's some other stuff that again that Sunday. Hopefully that felt well. Let me go to the comment section real quickly. As OTTO says, "Morning, brothers." He also got Darcel in the building. Said, "Good morning, fam." Yes, we are all here on a President's Day. Hopefully, you guys are going to take some time to relax and do some stuff that prepares you for the week or whatever you need to be done. I don't know. Some people might go shopping on these President Days, but if that's up to you. so, um,
Yeah.
so yeah, man, I think there's a lot going on for sure. I would just start off with something that I totally forgot of, which was the NBA All Star Weekend. I forgot it was this weekend. I don't know if it was because I don't know. I was traveling for work, So this week was kind of weird for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was totally out of it. Still, I was probably still recovering, still tired. But it was traveling and do all that sort of stuff, man. I forgot that they had the NBA All Star Weekend this week, and it was an interesting setup. I got a chance to watch a couple of stuff. Who watched the game, y'all? If y'all watch the game, let us know in the chat. And I want to hear your thoughts for sure about that if you watched it. But yeah, I was just kind of like, is this weekend? So I'm just trying to catch up.
Yeah, bro.
I literally watch
You
everything
know
on
they
YouTube after the fact.
oh, that's me too. And I was planning on doing it yesterday and forgot. So I didn't even get to watch the game. So but when it comes to, the skills challenge, the celebrity game, the dunk contest, 3-point, I was able to catch up on everything on YouTube, but I literally forgot to catch up on the game yesterday. So I'll
Yeah.
probably do that at some point today just to see what happened,
Mhm.
but man, I came to realize, man, it's just getting when it comes to the dunk contest and stuff, it's getting weaker and weaker, man. Now, McClung, he did his thing, but
Yeah.
everybody else, they were just, I was like, man, I seen these before. Um,
Yeah.
but McClung, he killed it. Now, when it came to 3-point contest, that is what it is.
Hmm.
It's just whoever's on that night. But yeah, I missed the game yesterday, bro. I missed it. So I don't know who won. I don't know if LeBron killed it, or if he was just kind of coasting it. I don't know anything.
Well, I won't spoil it for you. You can catch the highlights on YouTube, so I'll let you check that out for yourself.
Nah, spoil it. Spoil it.
We got Ty Smith in the building. If you want me to spoil it, I'll spoil it.
What up,
Uh,
Ty? Yeah, man, spoil it.
spoil it. We got Ty Smith. He said, "Good morning, good morning. So glad to have you on because we know it's early on in your neck of the woods." We got Darcel as well, who says, "I watched Saturday," and Mitch. Only thing he said was Curry, and that's pretty much a good precursor to what happened.
Really,
Yeah, he
really.
won the MVP for this one,
Oh,
second
snap.
consecutive. And LeBron didn't play. LeBron actually had a sore ankle, and he said, "I'm not playing
I,
this one." Uh,
I believe it. I believe it.
yeah, so people were tight
As he
about that,
should.
though. Yeah,
I
people were
believe it,
tight.
man. That's one of those things. That's why I respect him as much as I do, man. Because when he can, he does. Um, People won't give him a day off. But when you think about his career and how they have to go to all these cities, man, most of those cities he's playing, unless it's something like that. But most of these cities he's playing in because people they spend their money, man, just to see this guy. And so, if you think about it, if you spend all that money and you don't get to see the player that you came to see, it's
Hmm.
just like, dang.
It hurts.
But sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, it'll be great when he wins. Excuses when he loses. I mean, hey, you're from Miami, so I could imagine you feel a certain way about the man. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but
Hey,
that was
but you can't feel too bad though. He came over there and gave you some rings. Come on now.
yeah,
Come on now.
man. Well, here's the thing too. This was a different format for the All Star Weekend, so they had like a tournament style where basically they divided up the teams into about 4 teams. So it was Chuck's team, it was Kenny's team, and it was Shaq's team, and then there was a fourth team, which was Team Candace, which basically were the winners of the earlier tournament they had on Friday, which was like this all
Uh,
star, this young and rising stars group that they had, which had Castle and a few other people, young rookies that were able to win that tournament. So that game went through, and Shaq basically had, aka the OGs, which was LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, like a very that was like the All Star team that people probably were
yeah.
familiar with. And then uh try to give a little recap for those who didn't see, and then for those who were part of the other teams, Kenny had like another version of the Young Rising Stars. And then Chuck had all the international players, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had Nicholas Jokic and all those different stuff. And so, who won? Right. So the Kenny's
Yeah.
team lost in the first round. They lost in the first round, I believe, to Shea Gillis at Alexander and the international crew. And the OGs end up beating the young bucks, as I'll call them. And in the championship round, it was Shaq's team, the OGs, versus the international crew. And if I got mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all in the comment section. And but that was it. The OGs won. The OGs won the game at the
I
end.
believe that, man.
Yeah, so it
You know, it's
was.
crazy.
Yeah,
That makes sense, man. It makes sense because that's what it's going to, man. The Euros, they coming over, man, and they killing it. They killing it. So I believe that they were against the OGs because right now, I mean, when you think about like some of the top players in the league, they in there, man.
yeah,
They're in there.
like swimwear.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. But Steph showed out. He was over there on the in the 3-point contest looking like he was itching to get in. So I assume he was throwing them up. He was throwing them up on Sunday.
Yeah, first team to 40. So it was a tournament style first team to
Ah,
40. And I believe that I'm not sure if they did the same thing for Friday. They had it the championship round was the first 25. So I don't know if they changed it up for. I can't remember if they changed it up for Saturday, but they probably didn't. But it was. I mean, it got a little competitive here and there, but you know how these players are nowadays. It's not the same. No
yeah,
defense, so
exactly,
barely any
exactly.
defense. Wemby was the most defensive player, so yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna turn things around soon, but hopefully they can. They're trying everything in the book. Next time I'm gonna have the game on Mars, and we'll see what happens. But listen, y'all, we got a full day. I want to just make sure that we got a lot of stuff to cover. I've obviously you saw the thumbnail if you're here about Meta and humanoids. What's going on there? We're gonna cover some stuff from Black history, and we're gonna do a few other things as well. But we want you to definitely feel, especially this morning when y'all don't have to go to work, if you want to go ahead and call into the show, I'm dropping the link periodically throughout. So go ahead and click the link and drop in and let us know your thoughts. You can go ahead and call. You don't have to show your face, but we love to hear from you. So with that being said, let's just drop right into the first segment that we have here. And let's just talk about the topic at hand. The topic that we're going to be talking about is the meta humanoid investment. What's going on there? And I'm going to let my brother Trey take it away from here.
Yeah, man. So if y'all haven't heard, last week, you know, me and Ralph we talked about. I think that was last week. Man, time is flying.
Yep.
But Meta, they were making cuts last week. You know, thousands of people were getting laid off last week. I don't know if y'all remember that. And then all of a sudden this week, they're saying, "Yo, you know, we're gonna make some heavy investment." Them and Apple, they're like, "Hey, humanoids, that's what we need. That's what we need to take it into the next level, to take it into the next decade, century, whatever they want to say." And so, yeah, right now, Meta and Apple, they're making a significant strategic push straight for AI powered humanoid robotics. Okay. So right now, basically, here's what they're looking into. So they have a reality labs division. Okay, and so this project is housed under Meta, under the hardware division, and they're known for just literally making cutting edge technology in AR VR headsets. Right, that's what they work on and what they're doing. And now, if y'all remember last week, we talked about how they were going to be shifting focus specifically in the AR VR direction. So this is all tracking. So I guess the writing was on the wall with these humanoids for them. Maybe not so much for us. So we have Marc Whitten, all right, and he's basically the former head cruise, or sorry, he's the former Cruise CEO that initiates the leverage and his experience in autonomous systems, right, from self-driving car industry. So they brought him in, all right. And then the AI integrations, basically, they're developing advanced AI systems for these robots to be autonomous, and they're building on Meta's already existing AI capabilities and the stuff that they have with their language models and the computer vision, obviously with their headsets and things like that. So yeah, I mean, they're going full throttle here on this one. They're partnering with a robotics startup company called Figure AI and Unitree Robotics. All right, so we want to keep an eye on those two, you know, in case they are rolled up into a public company or something like that. Who knows? Just saying. Just want to keep an eye on those two, just in case. Or maybe the people who make the parts, right? Got to be thinking on that side as well. But anyways, they're going to they're not the initial robots. They're not going to carry the Meta branding. So you know this right here, obviously, is Fugazi, right? But it's just to show just to show a little something. But these first robots, they're not gonna have the Meta branding. Obviously, I guess because that's what they agreed on. They're like, hey, these are our robots. We had them for years, and y'all not gonna buy out the company like y'all normally do, but we'll partner with y'all. We'll partner and we can license something out. All right. So we'll see what happens there. These first prototypes, though, they're gonna focus on like the domestic work and domestic tasks, like cleaning and maintenance, right? So we see this, we see this a little bit already, but obviously they're going to be humanoids, so it'll be a little bit different, probably a little weird, if you've seen iRobot and stuff like that. But anyway, so the long-term plans that Meta has, that they're going to target manufacturing, logistics, and the retail sectors. Manufacturing, logistics, and the retail sector. So if you're in those spaces, sayonara. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. On a serious note, if you're in those spaces, you need to probably be figuring out how to shift and move over into the AI sides of those spaces, or like you know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. I don't even have to really say it, but y'all, anyways, it's gonna get competitive here in the next few years, though. Remember, I just told y'all, Apple, they're getting their hand in the race. Meta is basically, they're not even thinking about Apple. They're putting their heads up against Tesla's Optimus robot. And then you have Boston Dynamics Atlas. They have a humanoid robots as well. So yeah, it's gonna get pretty interesting here in the next in these coming years. So we'll see what happens. What do y'all think about this, though? On how last week they just laid off or gave buyouts to thousands and thousands of people, and now they tell us this week they're focusing on humanoids. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, that's very interesting, man. I'm gonna go to the comment section because Tech Coach Real got a lot to say about this topic. He says, one of the people I was coaching homeschooling her daughter with a heavy focus on STEM and robotics. So people are already paving the future
Huge.
for the next gen. He also
Yeah,
said it
man.
needs to be able to fold laundry before we can talk serious stuff here. He
I
mentioned,
mean,
oh man,
I bet it can. I bet it can. Perfect every time.
yeah.
Give me the perfect one, man.
Perfect fold, the no malfunctions. And on Tuesday, sorry, he said on Saturday, I posed a question of would you be willing to have 90% of school funding allocated to STEM and 10% of the other stuff and of low performing employees? I wonder what the results for that poll was. So let us know in the comment section, or feel free to
Yeah, let
call
us
in
know
and
about that.
show. Let us know like what were the results of that poll. But yeah, I think it's very interesting. I mean, it's all kind of tied into this AI, artificial intelligence, that will probably be used as the framework for the way that these robots are thinking. But it's just amazing to kind of see how things have pivoted in such a short amount of time. It wasn't too long ago where we were talking about the big thing, especially when it came to Meta, was being this augmented reality. Remember we talked about that a little bit, which probably could be coming
Yep,
that
yep.
it comes back. We were talking about the Meta glasses and just what's going to be happening in the metaverse, and now we're off to the races on robots. And so I feel like they all play a part, but obviously it's very interesting to see that. And like you said, you're absolutely right. Like I think a lot of people are going to be in this place of, okay, how do I pivot and basically kind of put myself for the future in regards to this
It should.
topic, and making sure like, hey, the next gen, how can they how could they have a piece of the pie, or how could they participate in this? Because as we kind of said many times on the show, it's not for us to basically have fear about this. It's for us to
Mm-mm.
understand it enough so that we could make the positive changes for this, so that to the next generation, those that we are close to, those that we impact, that they have an understanding of it and they could actually pursue this as well. And so that's the thing that I always think about, is like, how could we as as a people be a part of the conversation and influence things? That's why I'm so glad we're talking about different leaders this month that have impacted technology that are part of Black history. But even beyond Black history, it's just other groups as well, whether Hispanic groups, whether groups from other demographics that are part of this, the part of this conversation, and actually could be a part of it to shape and form what these robots think and do, because that's the important thing to me. It's like, hey, who is telling these robots, who's programming these robots, who are training these models, so that way they could think a certain way, and
Yeah,
be
yeah,
biased.
that's important, man. That you mentioned that. I didn't realize. I don't know. Y'all know I'm a little dark skinned. Me and Joseph. We got a little melanin. I
Little
didn't know,
Melanie.
bro. I didn't know early on. I used to go into the restroom, and you know how they had the electronic water, like when you're
Yeah.
washing your hands, I didn't realize until it was a long time. I didn't know that they really weren't calibrated for our skin. So that's why it literally
Wow.
wouldn't work like that. It wouldn't work like that because it couldn't recognize it. I was like, man, that's crazy. But when you're not when you're not in the room, when you're not in those conversations, when you don't know anything about that kind of stuff, to be able to have that input, I mean, that's kind of what
Mm,
happens. So it
man.
just I just thought I'd throw that out there to go along with what you were just mentioning.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to Tech Coach Ralph's comments as well. That's a really good point you made. I didn't know that either. Tech Coach Ralph said probably too late for a lot of them. People wait until dire situations to make a change, and that's why we have this channel,
That
man.
is that is true.
That's what we have. We have this channel to expose and expand. No pun intended. Shout out to Expose and Expand podcast. But yeah, I definitely feel like this is something that is really important, a really important part of the conversation. So listen, y'all. What if you guys have anything else you would love to say about this? I think like iRobot, that's like a first gen sort of iteration. Maybe not even first gen, but I feel like technology like that does help around the house will soon become a part of our everyday life. There's lawnmowers now that mow your lawn
Yeah,
autonomously.
yeah.
There's things that are going to become a part of our everyday life just because convenience is a part of it, and this is not going to be any different. Um, and so we've seen the movies as well. We talked about some of the movies. Uh,
That latest one,
yeah, and
I can't
so
remember the name.
Afraid. I know that's one I
Oh
kind of
yeah.
talked about on Netflix, where the robot is basically doing
Hmm.
everything, even doing bully prevention. I won't get into details, but it did a whole bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is something that we definitely going to see more of. But listen, y'all, as we have this conversation, feel free, as I said earlier, to call in anytime to the show. Even if you want to go back to a topic because you had to take some time to think about it, you are free to do that. Feel free to go to the show, click the link. You don't have to show your face, but you could go ahead and you could call in. And when you call in, you can share your opinion and thoughts about a particular subject. Maybe you have a little bit more of experience with a particular subject. So we want to hear from you. Go ahead, call in and let us know what is going down. But I'm going to stop right here and let y'all know what's going down when it comes to these events. I'm so glad that Ty's in the building because we go into the Tech Wire. This segment is powered by blacktechglobal.com, your premier directory for upcoming tech events. So go to blacktechglobal.com. Again, it's blacktechglobal.com for more. And so we're going to give you a snapshot of this. We won't be long, but we want you to make sure that you are aware of what is going down in the next couple of days. And so February 19th, a couple of days from now, we have the Black Tech Collective Tech Talk panel in Washington, D.C. $0 to participate in that particular event. So you definitely want to check that out. You could donate to it if you choose to, but it's really $0 to attend. It's really up to you. And so I would probably say, hey, if you can, just go ahead and be a part of that. It's gonna be at the HQ DC House by the Burns Brothers in Washington D.C. And it's called Coded for Greatness, celebrating Black excellence in tech. And so if you are in the DC DMV area and this is something that you are interested in, definitely go check it out. We have co-founder and chief operating officer at Plural Policy. It's going to be there, Yemi. We have Brian Lyles, senior principal engineer at Amazon Web Services, as well as Erin Reddick, who actually stopped by the show one time. She's the founder and CEO of Chat Black GBT. So if you are available, definitely check that out for yourself. We also have a BDPA St. Louis IT kickoff. It's happening in Clayton, Missouri, and that's going to be free as well for general admission in that particular event. So definitely check that out in 7676 Forsyth Boulevard that's happening as well in Missouri. There's a few people that will be part of that panel discussion. Networking is happening, great speakers, and food is included. So go ahead and check that out as well. We have February 19th, we have the Toasted Life Black ERG and Allies BHM meetup in Oakland, California. $0 again, y'all. Don't let us say we didn't give you this for free. There's a lot of free events going on there. Black Tech, this is happening February 19th as well. Black Tech Orlando, Python for Beginners. That's free in Orlando, Florida. Check out that event. February 19th. It's a lot of things on the 19th. Black Young Professionals AI discussion, which is virtual, but it's $0 for that. We have Upcity has a C-suite blueprint women's panel. That sounds amazing. $0 for that. A virtual panel that's happening with leaders from Cron Technologies and other different companies and brands that are going to be a part of that conversation. So check that out. Virtual for that one. Baddies in Tech is also going on February 20th. That's a virtual event where they have a meet into it and shipped networking mixer. So if those when people are looking to get into those particular jobs, that's a virtual hangout. And so there's so much other things that are going on. Mixer Cloud has events here in Oklahoma City, virtual events with Sisters in Sales. STEM Social has something in Philadelphia that you can be a part of, a meetup there. So definitely check it out for yourself. I know there's a lot going on. I know Ty, if I don't know if he's on here, but he is the man behind this, him and his wife, Ayana. So definitely check out the website for so many different things. National Sales Network. They're having a jazz brunch in LA. Check that out as well. But then that's blacktechglobal.com. Again, go to blacktechglobal.com. There's so much I can't even tell you all. But yeah, check it out for yourself. Tech Coach Ross says, did you say Baddies in Tech? Yeah, Baddies in Tech. I actually supported one of their events. It was a beautiful event. Actually, no. That was Sisters in Sales. Sorry, Sisters in Sales, which was a great event nonetheless. Definitely check it out because when they go and do these events, you could be an ally, Tech Coach Ralph, and you can support. You don't have to be a baddie unless you think you are one. But you could go ahead and support any way you want to for a lot of these different events. February 27th, there's a Build a Bot workshop, Build a GPT. So definitely, there's so many different things on that website. I can't even tell it all. But yeah, definitely check it out. And as Ty says, zaddies are welcome. They call allies who are men zaddies. So if you want to be a zaddie and support, that's that's cool. My feelings were almost hurt. Well, hey, listen, you're a zaddy. You could join, according to Ty, and from what I've seen, you could be a support. And trust me, if you're the only man in the room, Mr. Tech Coach Ralph, you'll get attention. So don't worry about that part. All right. Well, listen, y'all, as I like to say, this segment is a pretty much quick and hit because we want you to go to the website and check it out for yourself. We'd like to drive traffic that way. So definitely go ahead and check it out for yourself. But we're going to talk about another topic here. And it's about OpenAI. So as we've been having conversations in the past, we've been talking about Mr. Elon Musk. Oh, Doge and everything going on there. Now we focus more on the government side of Mr. Elon Musk, but now we're going to be talking a little bit more about what is happening with his bid. If you guys remember, he was originally part of OpenAI when they were not a company that was for profit. They were not profit at the time. We got Beast. What up, Beast? With Snare, we got you on as well. Glad you stopped by on IG. So if you all remember, OpenAI, he was a board member. He wants to do a $97 billion purchase of OpenAI. It's a 97 led, which means he's not doing the whole thing himself. He has a group that he's with. But let's dive into the topic and let us know what you think. So OpenAI's board of directors unanimously rejected a $97.4 billion acquisition offer from Elon Musk and his investor group on February 14th. Oh, his heart was broken on Valentine's Day, calling it an attempt to disrupt his competition and reaffirming the company's commitment to its non-profit mission. He wants it to go back to where it was. The decision marks the latest escalation in a years-long conflict between Musk and OpenAI. Now, Chair Brett Taylor states that the offer was not in the best interest of OpenAI's mission and emphasized the company is not for sale. A Musk bid included a demand for OpenAI to abandon its shift for a for-profit model, which he claims violates his original nonprofit safety-focused purpose. Very interesting. So the bid came among an ongoing Musk filed legal lawsuit against OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and Microsoft, alleging breach of contract over the company's restructuring plans. I want you to know your thoughts on that. The restructuring plans, he's the issue with that. A judge recently expressed skepticism about the merit of Musk's case. So Altman responded sarcastically on X, of all places, writing, "No, thank you, but we will buy Twitter for 9.74 billion if you want," referencing Musk ownership of the platform. Shots fired, y'all. Shots fired. They playing no games out here. OpenAI, co-founded by Musk and Altman, remember that, in 2015 as a nonprofit, is transitioning to a public benefit corporation to attract capital while maintaining its mission to develop artificial generated intelligence, or AGI, for humanity. Mark argues a shift to prioritize profit over safety. Again, I'm going to emphasize that again: profit over safety. Competitive. So Musk's could also have consolidated his influence in AI, given his ownership of rival firm XAI. So he's ready, has another ownership there. OpenAI's Rejection maintains independence in a rapidly evolving industry. So here's some things I want to keep in mind. Musk attorney Mark Torboff accused the board of self-dealing, claiming the restructuring enriches executives rather than benefiting the public. All right, keep that in your mental pocket right there. And OpenAI's legal team dismissed Musk's offer as a not a bid at all and reaffirmed plans to advance AGI responsibility. The clash underscores deepening divisions over AI governance, with OpenAI positioning itself as a counterweight to tech giants while Musk advocates for open source alternatives. The rejection solidifies OpenAI's current trajectory amid heightened scrutiny of its corporate structure and long term goals. And listen, y'all, Trey, I don't know if you want to jump in right now, but I could go to the comment section and see what they say. But very interesting conversation. Again, focusing focusing on the fact that OpenAI was supposed to be supporting the public first, and now there's a switch to being profitable, which could affect, again, going back to safety. So I wanted to kind of talk about that and see what everybody has to say. Is Musk just full of it? Is he just mad that that they really are moving away from it? Is he trying to get more of the piece of the pie? What are your thoughts, y'all?
I think it's a mix of all of it, man. When I don't know. I think once you get to a certain level, this is what I think. I have no clue, obviously, but I think once you get to a certain level on money, the hundreds of billion, like when you get that high, you really just you try and find ways to do other things, So yeah, he's flying out of. I mean, he's sending stuff into space. He's got cyber trucks, and so now it's like, hey, you know what? Let me try and get this stuff. But he's in the government, all this stuff that he's doing. So yeah, I think it was a mix of all of it, man. He's trying to get back at Sam Altman. He was a part of that original stuff going on back then. But I think well played for Sam, man. On Valentine's Day, you hit him back with moving that decimal point, right? So he Elon was 97.4 billion that they offered. That's 100 billion. I mean, that'll listen, man, you can disappear for 100 billion. You can literally disappear. But he obviously believes in what he has, or he's just stubborn, one or the other. But he hit him with the 9.74 billion for the Twitter. That's hilarious. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's one of those things. They did come into this thing saying that they were going to be open source, saying that they were doing all this stuff, and sometimes when that money hits, when that deposit hit the account, just that one time, it's like, wait a minute, we might need to switch some stuff up real quick. And yeah, it's been a little different ever since now. So I don't know if they're gonna go back. I don't know.
Be very
I know
interesting.
I think they just gave something for free, but yeah, I don't know if they'll go to open source, man. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know either about that. That might be a little bit tougher situation there. But I'm gonna go to the comment section real quickly here. We got from Darcel. He said, if that's what he is offering, it's worth much more than that $97 billion. Which, you know what? If we're talking about other stuff, might be something that we could talk about and say, that may not be true, but in this case, it is. But that's a good question too, because if we think about what happened with DeepSeek, did the value of OpenAI and these other brands, do they really drop to the point that this offer is actually competitive? I mean, it's almost $100 billion. So I don't know. That's a really good question, though. Is it it's worth much more than that? I agree with Darcel, but maybe because DeepSeek took an open source approach, that's like what Mr. Musk is saying, like, we should have been open source too. Even though people can use
Yeah.
and create their own. So anyway, that's a very interesting conversation there. We got Tech Coach Route that says, didn't that lawsuit start before Musk became involved in the government? It did. It did start. Oh, it
Yep.
started a while ago. Um, I think a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I got to look back and double check that. But yes, it definitely did start before he was involved with government. Which to me, it's like, now that you are involved with government, could it be a conflict of interest? Like, where's the line drawn in this? And so, going to your next comment, I think they're allowed to change. And if people don't like their change, stop using them. Use Grok. So yeah, I mean,
I did look. There's so there's over 180 million monthly active users for ChatGPT,
yeah.
and for Grok right now it's just in the millions. So probably way less than
Mm.
Chat, but but I mean it is millions of people using it, I guess. But hilarious,
He, he he
hilarious.
it's one of those situations where it's like, man, I was here first, and you got kicked out of the playhouse. Your friends kicked you out, and you're like, let me back in. But he has been sort of protesting for a while about the fact that it went from this
Yeah,
not
yeah.
profit to this, okay, we try to make money now. He feels as though, because of that, the safety aspect of it, and this is something that, a lot of people brought up. I know one of the reasons why I didn't download DeepSeek right away was because I was like, okay, let me think about the safety aspect of this, um, because there's no governance for anything that's going across the board, across the waters. So yeah, I don't know if what I'm trying to find out more about what that safety aspect he's worried about is, because I think that might have a lot to do with my thoughts on it. But should we worry about making XAI better and free? Oh, okay. So apparently there's a this is a really good point, because if XAI is not only subpar, but it's something you have to charge for. I think that kind of defeats the whole mindset of what he had is saying in regards to being safe and for not profit. What do you guys think about that? Um, their value dropped for a blip in time. Yeah, just was for a moment. They have other investors that are
Yeah,
actually came out of the woodworks and said after the situation is like, hey, we want to invest in y'all. So that's a good point. And then Techo Drive also says it's easier to get to Chat GBT, and probably X users are considered Grok users. That's true. That's true.
I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah. I remember that's something that he was trying to make exclusive to X users. I just found it hilarious that,
Oh, okay.
you remember, like we talked about the other day, when
Yeah, I
he was
do
like,
remember that. Yeah, yeah.
so
I do remember that.
that kind of, I mean, I understand why he did
That
it, but
limited it a little bit.
eliminated it. Yeah, like now, not even some X users are gonna be like, "Hey, I actually want to use what you got." So the fact that he didn't make it open to a lot more people, it's like, and again, it also has a paywall that we talked about last time too. Now that I remember, so it's like, I don't know, And then Techo Draft also says, I think Rock is available for people with the paid account of X, the Blue Star. And I never use it either, just like you said, never
Hmm.
use it.
Me
But yeah,
either.
I thought it was very interesting, man. I thought it was something that, um, just a very interesting thing that, in regards to this conversation. What do y'all think, man? For real, what do y'all think? If y'all think that Musk is in the right, then cool. But if you think that he's just trying to just gain control, and try to kind of just, which I don't think he's going to win that war.
That's
I don't
it.
think Sam Altman's going to sell this thing for $97 billion. I don't think.
Nah, he's not winning that. But I do think it's a mix of both, right? Like
Hmm.
he strikes me as somebody who probably would love to have his hand in there again,
Yeah.
and control a little bit, but also he wants it to go back to where it started, like open for all.
Yeah.
possibly so that he can inject some of it into into Grok and all that stuff, right? So, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, he's a businessman. So so yeah, I definitely see that as well. Listen, y'all, let us know your thoughts. Call in any time of the show to let us know. He says Musk is very idealistic. Interesting. Yeah. I can see that. So I can see that for sure. But listen, yeah, the link is dropped, so feel free to call on the show if you have any additional thoughts about any of the subjects that we're going to be talking about. But we're actually talking about the Godfather right now. In fact, you may not know him or you may not be familiar with him, but he's considered the Godfather of Silicon Valley. And this is one of our highlights for this Black History Month. And so I actually missed a segment, but we're going to go right back to it because I think it's very important to talk about this man right here, um, and kind of just be able to kind of share what it is that he has accomplished when it comes to not only what he did in Silicon Valley, but for Black history. So I'm going to pass it over to Trey to share a little bit more about this topic here.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, y'all know how we do during Black History Month. You know, they try and fill our calendar up in February with all these other activities and all these things, Grammys, you know, it's Super Bowl, NBA All Star Weekend, all these other, and there's some more that are coming in the next coming week. They fill it up with everything, and sometimes we can get lost in Black History Month. And y'all also know we like to highlight people who don't normally get highlighted during this month, just to make sure that their name stays in the game, and we continue to know where a lot of stuff either came from or some of the pioneers who started this thing and can help us continue on forward. And one of them this week is Roy L. Clay Sr. He is the godfather of Silicon Valley.
Oh, I lost you there, brother. Um,
Oh shoots. I accidentally slipped and hit it, man. So just so y'all know, he did, he was born in 1929 and he did pass away in 2024, but he was widely known as the godfather of Silicon Valley, which he was a trailblazer in the computer scientist space, and he was an advocate for diversity in tech. Okay, so his career, I mean, it spanned from pioneering engineering work at Hewlett Packard, HP. He had entrepreneurial success, and he was a political leader. And then he left a mark on Silicon Valley. So just to get into it, he was born in Kinloch, Missouri, and he grew up in a segregated community. Faced a lot of systemic racism from a very young age. You know, you can imagine being born in 1929, but outside of those barriers, right? Despite those, he didn't let that stop him. He was able to earn a mathematics degree from St. Louis University in 1951. He became one of the first African Americans to graduate from there. And then in his early career, he did struggle, you know, being told by employers that you know they didn't hire professional Negroes, stuff
mm,
like that. But he definitely kept moving forward, right? He didn't let that stop him. He was able to teach himself programming, and he secured roles at institutions like Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. And so he was able to continue by self-teaching. Hey, y'all not going to teach me? I'm going to learn this stuff myself and figure it out. And that was during the time where they didn't have uh, Chat GPT and Grok and all these other things that we have now. So remember that, y'all. Now, his career at HP, he joined HP at impressing the co-founder David Packard, who tasked him with leading the development of the company's first computer. So he was a leader in building that first computer, the mini computer, the HP 2116A mini computer. And he was HP's first black executive. Clay, he directed hardware and software,
mm.
right? And he was entry computing. So yeah, he was a pioneer in hiring practices that recruited talent for historically black colleges and universities as well. and he introduced flexible work hours at HP, a concept later adopted company wide. All right, so he also was like, "Hey man, we gotta get up out of here, man. we gotta move around. I got money to spend." But on the entrepreneurial side, right? So you do have to build, but then also I'm sure growing up in where he grew up, he did realize, hey, I need to have something of my own. So after he left HP, he founded RODL Electronics, which revolutionized electronical safety testing with devices like dielectric withstand testers. Okay, so companies like IBM, AT&T, Xerox, they relied on his technology. Rod L also became a major employer of black professionals in Silicon Valley, earning Clay his name, the Godfather. All right, and then also remember I told y'all he was definitely and heavy in the political side, so he became Palo Alto's first black councilman and vice mayor in 1973, advocating for equitable policies. So, this man was doing his thing. He promoted STEM education and diversity initiatives, stating, I went where there was no path and I left a new trail. Ladies and gentlemen, Roy Clay Sr., the godfather of Silicon Valley. And we definitely want his legacy to be recognized and remembered. So that is who the Black History Month leader is today that we chose to pick. So yeah, give it
Yeah.
up for Rod Clay Sr., man.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah, I
Give it
think
up
I
for
think
him,
I think it's amazing that just to kind of see that. Hey, listen, y'all talking about flex time. You gotta thank the brother. You gotta thank
man.
the man.
Man,
Never
man.
never know if these little ripples effects affect other companies, and now it's became a household thing. But it's amazing to see what he was able to accomplish, not just what he was able to accomplish, but when he was able to accomplish it. In times of a lot of strife, in times of situations where there are not a lot of opportunities for people of color within various industries,
Yeah.
and so he was able to be a trailblazer. Like he was a mayor in the '70s, and then prior to that, just what he was able to do at HP in the '70s and earlier than that in the '50s and being at St. Louis University is amazing, man. And we have to kind of highlight
Yeah.
these stories, or we're gonna lose them. We're gonna lose them for sure. They'll be left behind. And now I go to Ty Smith's comment. Says so many black tech legends came from or through St. Louis. Roy Clay, Michael Roberts, David Stewart, Morgan
Yeah,
DeBlanc.
we
We gotta do it. Yeah,
got
go
David
ahead.
Stewart coming up next week. We got him
Y-
coming up next week, man. David Stewart,
Yeah,
we got him coming up next week. But yeah, man, I agree, man. It's crazy to see that. Missouri, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
man, and
They
it's
got
and
some
it's
they got some heavy hitters.
Yeah, and these are people that are not just doing their stuff in tech, but they also politically are moving the needle as well in certain arenas, depending on who they are. But it's amazing. Like I think it's something that we definitely need to highlight because it's important. We started this channel to give exposure and to talk about have these conversations with people in our community to say, hey, look, if they could do it, you could do it too. And so this is definitely up our alley. What are you gonna say, Trey? I think I stopped you.
Even no, you were good, bro. But even more like when you see stuff like what he did, and just hey man, I'm gonna self-teach myself. Y'all don't give me a chance. I
Mm,
mean, nowadays they will give you a chance, but I mean, all I'm saying is you still can just it's so many tools and things that are available to you that he didn't have that
mhm.
you can learn anything today. It's just a matter of if you want to. So when you think about what he did in his career, like hey, I went he found someone who did give him a chance. He didn't stop at those first no's, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to David Packard, for
Mhm.
giving him an opportunity to show what he could do, and he came in and ran it up for him.
Yeah.
David Packard probably could be like a John Brown, man. That's pretty cool. But ultimately, here's the
Mhm.
thing: I don't think if David Packard wouldn't have gave him a chance, I don't think he would have let that stop him. I think
No.
he would have kept going forward because why? Winners win.
Yep.
Winners win, and he's gonna find a way. So yeah, I mean, very inspiring story, man. I loved it. I love this. I loved it.
Yeah. And if y'all don't know, he does have a book on his life called Unstoppable: The Unlikely Story of a Silicon Valley Godfather. You can find it
I'm
on
about to get it
Amazon.
now.
I'm gonna drop the link. I'm not getting any sort of kickback for this, but I just want to let y'all know that there is his book. There's a book about his life. He actually co-wrote with someone. So if you are interested in finding out more, definitely these are stories that need to be told. So go ahead and just drop the link down there. You could go to Amazon and purchase a hard copy book, or you could get it on Kindle, paperback, whichever you choose. But it really talks about his life, what he was able to accomplish in more detail. Imagine having to train yourself when everybody said, no, we're not hiring. This is the 50s. Yeah, so this is right around that time where it was real. You know, the civil rights movement was heavy, and so this is
Huge.
a powerful story.
Yeah. And while you're there getting that book, go ahead and get Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? It's an autobiography by Reginald F. Lewis. So
Mm.
go ahead and pick that up too.
Go ahead and pick it up. That's awesome. So listen, y'all. Definitely, if we, in fact, I'm gonna pause right now. I know that we could move on to another segment, but I want to just drop it one more time because I'm not too sure if somebody wants to add anything to this conversation. But feel free to click in and call in the show. Call into the show. Let us know your thoughts, whether it's about this particular subject or somebody that you think we should cover that is impactful to Black History Month, because we technically only have how many more weeks left? Probably one more Monday. This was a very short, very short month. But listen, we could probably do highlights throughout the year. It doesn't have to be reserved
It's the
for,
shortest.
yeah, it's the shortest month. It doesn't be reserved for this particular month. We could do highlights for individuals that we could kind of bring up because it's important. It's inspiring that some of us, I'll even include myself in this. Sometimes we're going on this path, and you want to like sure, like, hey man, I just want to keep on going. But when we see what our forefathers were able to accomplish, it puts a little bit of a boost in our battery. And it's like, man, if they could do it, if if Mr. Roy Clay Sr. could teach himself and get an opportunity and make the most of it, what excuse do I have? So go ahead and feel free to call into the show and let us know your thoughts about whether this topic, any other topic that you have, somebody you would like us to cover. You can even put it in the comment section if you don't feel comfortable calling on the show. But we definitely want to hear from you, and definitely want to make sure that the show aligns with the things that you like and need and want to see. So yeah, definitely, y'all go ahead and do that right there. Sorry, Missouri. So I had to do right there. The Lou, salute.
Hilarious.
All right, man. Well, if if I don't hear anything, we're gonna go into the brown box special today. Again, the brown box special, for those who do not know, is an opportunity to hear from stories of people that have been fired, let go, or quit their jobs for various reasons. Sometimes this is therapeutic for us who have gone through it, so we can laugh at our pain. And just sometimes we just scratch our heads at these quite interesting stories that we hear. And so, with that being said, we got this credit of Reddit, and it talks about this person's journey. It says, I was finishing up my degree and working full time for a regional big box style electric retailer. Our warehouse manager, let's call him Stefan, I'm making up names now, was a very interesting character. He was typical good old boy, drove a pickup truck and never finished high school, and was very large and intimidating because of his tendency to be quick to get angry. Stefan constantly complaining about his home life and how terrible his marriage was and his old woman's gambling problem. Well, one day while working in the camera section in front of the store, Stefan comes bursting out of the warehouse, quickly gaining the attention for everyone on the floor. He began shouting explicitives to everyone, screaming how he was quote unquote rich, and ran into the general manager's office and told him to kiss his derriere, and began to walk around the store screaming at all the customers and employees about how much he hated them. Woo. Fast forward a mere 6 hours later, Stefan re enters the store, still wearing his company shirt, and heads straight into the GM's office. About 30 minutes later, he leaves. Come to find out, he has gotten a call from his wife screaming that she had won 100,000 while gambling. Stefan, upon hearing this, went into a frenzy, quickly telling everyone off and giving his 2-second notice. Once he arrived home, he realized it was not $100,000, but 100,000 pennies. He came back to the store
Man,
to ask for his job back. He's got
they said
some.
no. He had to leave. He said about 30 minutes later he leaves. They said no,
No, you just told us what you thought about us. You told us what you thought about our
bro.
customers.
I had to do
Oh,
customer damage control because they had customers in here while you going off on them. I had to try and control that situation, get them little coupons. No, stay over there with your 100,000 pennies and keep it going. I mean, and also, I mean, I don't know if you do it like that over 100,000 anyway. Like even if it was $100,000, you still don't do it like that.
yeah,
Like
that's
that's crazy.
yeah, that's nuts. I mean, $100,000. If it was $100,000, you just would say okay, and keep it going at work.
You don't do it
Keep
like
on,
that.
keep on smiling, keep on dialing, do whatever you do. But to kind of go crazy like that, man. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, y'all. Let us know what you think about that. But I totally agree with you, brother.
No, I would never leave like that under no circumstances. I think maybe the max I would probably do is like, maybe leave for lunch and just never come back. Or maybe like I'm talking about like this is like the worst that I would do if I ever
Yeah,
did something like that. It would probably be like leave for lunch and just never come back. Or maybe I would just finish out the day and never come back.
yeah,
Uh or you just finish out your 2 weeks, like you put in your 2 weeks notice and then maybe let them know like, hey, I got time because I'm always here, so I know I got some PTO. Can we work something out where I just kind of use these weeks with my PTO, that way I don't have to come back in, explain the
hmm
situation to them,
yeah,
something like that. But I can't just I mean, I'm not the going off type of dude anyway,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. There's no situation where I do that.
Yeah, to burn a bridge like that, it's a little wild to me.
It's
Um,
crazy. It's crazy.
yeah, it doesn't it shows your character more than anything else. And so I gotta go
Yeah.
to I gotta go to OTTO. He says they said we good over here, brother. We've been trying to find a way to get rid of you anyway.
Facts.
So
Facts.
sometimes you just give them the opportunity, and they're like, "Ooh, thank you." But
Good.
but
We
we
didn't have to.
didn't
We didn't have to
we
pay.
we'd have to pay for you to
You
leave,
quit.
but you basically quit, and even though you kind of messed up our reputation a little bit with our customers, hey, they you did it to yourself. So that's exactly how it came out, y'all. And so listen, man, I appreciate you, Operation Takeover. Let's do it. I'm gonna do a roll call shout out right now. Thank you, Operation Tech Takeover, Ty Smith, Tech Coach Ralph, Mitch in the building, Darcel, those that were able to comment and share today. We appreciate you all. And for those who were a little bit shy, it's totally fine for you to listen in, not a problem at all. But we just want to say thank you for stopping by the show. If you have not already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Again, this is Tech Coach. This is Tech Coach Ralph. This is Talk That Tech Show. So definitely, if you see it, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, or IG, go to Talk That Tech and subscribe to the channel so you can see the latest. We're dropping videos pretty much daily at this point on the channel, whether it's snippets of these episodes or if it's the actual show itself. And thank you so much, Ty. Great show. Great for having you, man. We know what it means a lot to us for you to even be on here right now. And so thank you so much for that. We definitely appreciate you and everything you've done. And if you have, and I'm gonna bring it up again, y'all, go to blacktechglobal.com. There's gems in there, man. There are gems in there. If you have not, if you missed that part of the show, go to blacktechglobal.com so that you can see what is happening in your neck of the woods, and you could be able to join there and see it. It's literally a list of all the things that a majority of things that you can find either virtually or even in some, depending where you live, not too far from you, that you can participate in. So definitely check that out if you are interested in learning more about what's going on and being connected to a community. So So that's definitely it. But listen, y'all, thank you again. We want you to enjoy your President's Day weekend and have a great one. This has been Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We're gonna see y'all next week, baby.
yeah,
Let's get it.
peace and elbow grease.